When were you saved, Dr. Macarthur? Tell us about your own personal conversion when you came to the knowledge of the truth of the gospel of Christ and you embraced the gospel.
Well, my grandfather was a pastor and my dad was a pastor, so I grew up in the church, and I grew up loving both those men, and my mom as well, just a beautiful Christian. So there never was a time I didn't believe. In other words, I didn't have some kind of rebellious time. My parents were loving, faithful parents, and they created a home environment that was very embracing and affirming, and yet with a high degree of discipline, which they wrought on me when necessary. But I think it was when I was about 9 or 10 years old that I had done something that was overtly wrong. I had stolen something, and I felt this immense conviction, and I went to my dad, and I remember sitting on the steps of a church because I was with him on a trip where he was doing a week of preaching, and it was on those steps that I confessed to my dad what I had done. And I look at that as the moment when the reality of my sin was stark enough that I knew I needed Christ to change my heart. And then some years later, after my first year in college, I had a car accident, and it was severe and traumatic, and I survived. And I think that's the point at which I said, I just want to do whatever you want me to do. If the Lord's going to treat me like this, I got to make sure I'm walking the way He wants me to walk, or this could get even worse. Yeah, but I think at some point, and I don't know the exact moment of salvation, but I do remember that encounter with my sin and coming to my dad and saying, I need to be saved.
Amen.